name is Julie. I am 28 years old. And last year I had a brain aneurysm rupture, and it was just quite an overwhelming experience. And I remember just thinking, well, this is it. I guess if I'm going to die, I'm going to die. And as they wheeled me off into surgery, I remember thinking, if this is going to go wrong, I'd rather be dead than be seriously brain damaged. Because I just didn't want to be brain dead and have loved ones make hard decisions. I didn't want to forget who I was. Sorry, it's quite hard to relive.
One of the biggest developments that has allowed for me to reach the point in recovery where I am was a therapist that specialized in working with chronically ill clients. A lot of the work we did was figuring out how all of these fractured pieces of myself coalesced into Abby. And the life that I was living, whether I got better or not, was one worth living. That my brain and body didn't have to be healed for me to be whole.
A few years back when I was in my late 20s, I started feeling really weird. It was definitely an extremely physically challenging time, certainly a mentally challenging time, because I think that one thing that they don't speak about enough is, just the weird, with the stroke certainly causes strange chemical imbalance in my brain that caused me to be, really emotional, and it was just a crash course in, biology and human anatomy and trying to figure myself back out again.
But I remember a nurse, somebody talking to me and saying, you're going to have an operation. They're going to have to take out a piece of your skull. You've had a stroke, you're really poorly. One of the saddest parts was I can't even explain it, but I knew that my leg would come back and I would be able to walk. I just instinctively knew that was going to happen eventually. But I really felt like my arm, it didn't feel like my arm. It felt like it was never going to come back. And my dad, I remember my dad got really upset. This one time they come to visit, and I just said to him, I was like, what if one day I want to have kids and I can't even hold my own baby? And then my dad just cried, and he was just like, yes, I was making emotional stuff. And he was like, you will, of course you will. You can, you'll find a way, you'll figure it out.
I don't know if you know, Tyler, we're identical twins, so that was I think particularly tough thing for Luke, especially in the early days when he had almost like a measuring stick of how much that injury has impacted him. The brain injury is not an ending, it's the beginning of something new. Everyone's gone through this life-changing experience, and I think it brings people very close together.
Recovery is long. It's a long and bumpy journey, and you will not get better tomorrow. You'll not be better next week. You won't be better next month. But slowly, over time, it does get better, and you start to improve, and you find a new resilience in yourself that you didn't know you had. Because I initially decided to share my story because Amelia sharing her story and creating the charity really changed my life. And I was just amazed at her courage. And, those nights in the hospital when I was in pain and I was alone and I was scared, I kept, thinking of her, and that if she could do it, then I could do it. If I share my story, and even if there's one person out there who reads it and gets some comfort from it, then it would be worth it.
Raising awareness is a really important step in getting to a place where survivors feel like they can just exist as they are and be accepted and seen. I now have belief. My future's filled with possibility, and that's everything. Possibilities that I couldn't dream of a couple years ago. And it means I can keep going.